All right, next up we have Collide, performed by Ed Sheeran, written by Ben Queller, Ed Sheeran, Fred Gibson, Johnny McDade, produced by Ed, Fred, and Johnny. Cool, let's give it a go. Yo, the jungle-y kind of beat. Nice repeating little melody there. I like the tempo. I like the another storytelling kind of style. We've seen the moon reflect when you and I collide. Pretty straightforward so far, really. Just a 1, 5, 6, 4. So nothing surprising there. And then we have a super cruisy verse. There's enough space between the lines, so we got space at the end of each phrase. So rhyme scheme there, A, all the same. Change the rhyme. Notice how as well the first line of the second section of that verse there, we have a little bit of a different entry, right? We started, and then the second half, to the storm, we went up to a different note there. But we're mostly still staying around the notes of the triad here, F, A, C. Notice the repetition in rhythm as well. Da, 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 da. That shows up a lot. So just to keep us familiar. We've seen the moon red away when you and I collide. Simple something just to enter into the chorus. Da, 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 da. Going up in pitch. It's interesting. It's kind of a flat pre-chorus in the pre. We still hang around that na, na, na sort of range. It'd be nice. I would have thought, or what's more typical is to sort of go up to the na, 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 na. It's sort of a little bit of a higher range. It's okay for me. I'm not actually really super attached to the melodies here. It's just very straightforward and simple. It's relaxing. It's easy listening, I guess. But this is great. Now we're here. It's somewhere we want to be. It's got all the basic blocks that should be there, which is a nice solo groove. Here we're using this like boom, 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 right? Something that's tried and tested, and a chord progression that's tried and tested. So, putting those two elements together, if you just get a nicely produced beat like that against those chords, and a nice soundscape that's working real. That's probably my favorite aspect of the song so far. Is this dreamy, jungly. I don't know, it's a nice soundscape, but it's nothing overly exciting or interesting, but it doesn't have to be. Pretty standard so far. The percussion sounds are really nice. I love that snare. It sounds very natural, very organic. We're back in, just adding a few more layers. Just some subtle things, so the electric guitar in the back there. Again, we're picking sounds here that work together. I mean, he's just a master of the storytelling verse. So because everything is so simple and easy to listen to, it actually, in this song, I'm focusing a lot more on the lyric and the story, which is very touching. So that's what you can actually use to your advantage in terms of melody and lyric. If you keep your melodies simple, the chord progression simple, the groove is simple, it just opens up a lot of mental space for the listener to be able to actually focus on the lyric and the story, which is what I think is done really well here. And back to the chorus. And we're just adding a little bit of production each time, every 4 to 8 bars. And just fitting all those pieces together is nice. Very crazy. I'm imagining he created this actually on a loop pedal. He wrote a lot of his earlier stuff just on the loop pedal. This definitely fits, with just the four chord loop, and you can imagine him doing that beat on the guitar through the loop. Okay, that's cool. Nice little integrating melodies, right? We have the boom boom with the lead vocal there, which is jealous, colliding. So it's just two simple melodies that work good together, and you can actually come up with some really pleasing bridges and final choruses when you have those little melodies that can all come together. So cool. We're just sitting on that melody and just thickening it up.
We made love in the sky.
Okay, so we come down instead.
Oh, I got a feeling, baby, we'll be fine.
Beautiful. Yeah. Super easy listening. 4 chords. Really, really, the simplicity of it really gets you to focus on the storytelling, which I think, yeah, great story. Let's go next into Two-Step. Two-Step, which is written by Andrew Watman, David Hodges, Lewis Bell. Lewis Bell I'm familiar with. And Ed Sheeran, produced by Andrew Watt and Lewis Bell. Let's go. I'm excited. Yeah. This has got Halsey and Youngblood sort of written all over it.
I had to do the ether with the rest of this mess that just keeps us depressed. We forget that we're on your bound to break. Something's got to change. We should just be
that pacing in that vocal there.
Give a damn if we're missing out on what the people think is right place where the music plays, and then we'll go all night.
Whoa. Okay. Cool. I love it. I'm gonna listen to that verse again. That we're bringing back a bit of the rap Ed, which is good to see. Didn't really get much of it on Divide. It's a great example of how rhythm is just so powerful in a vocal. But catchy pop guitar. G minor, I believe. It's just a really cool guitar part. So we're in this. We've got a, what's that one? 8th note here. And then the 16th note. Now here. It's only a little, it only shows up, the 16th note only in that little moment. But just by having that one instance, it like completely ups the pace of the entire section. You can really build a lot of energy and pace without doing heaps.
Oh, we should head out to the place where the music plays, and then we'll go.
So interesting, right? So we have 3 sort of distinct different sections there. First being the exposition with just the guitar part and the 8th note. Dun, 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 dun. Second section being the production, the instrumental continues where it's going. The biggest difference, right, is we up the pace in the vocal. Then we actually keep that pace in the vocal and then we drop the production out, because if we had have kept the same level of production, nothing changed in the vocal really. Notice that difference, that contrast, which now allows us to come back in full into the chorus. Oh, yeah. Damn, that's well written. Whew. He used to do this a lot with the octave vocal, right? With na, 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 together with the na, oh, na. So he can sort of sing in a comfortable range, plus that like exciting falsetto layer on the top, and it works really well with his voice. The melody and the rhythm in that chorus is just grooving, and it is just working. So, but very, very cyclical chord progression. But wow, is it a great melody. I'm just going to hear that chorus one more time. What's that remind me of? It's like The Shape of You. Two-step with the woman I love. But yeah, Shape of You's got more of like a where this is just. But that's a very Ed thing to do with the upwards inflection. Two-step with the woman I love. And then like a pause after that. That's very him. But that's cool how instead of just going or stopping it again, it actually keeps it going. So it's it could get boring if you just like and then just repeat that. You know, it could be more exciting, which is what he's done here. He's actually floated on. Just sort of shock your listener a bit by taking away that expectation of that space or whatever you did the first time, which has definitely caught me off guard here, right? Just continuing that. It's really cool. Little variation there. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da, instead of just going straight back to the same note.
But we know what it is to be low then up, alone then love, and all we need is us.
Man, it just hits the pockets, and you've got that pause at the end. Dun, 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 pause, dun, 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 pause. Just to give you, again, that opportunity to bounce. Because you're dancing to this as well, right? It's dancey. Which is, so the same thing he does in Shivers, right? Ooh, pause. I love it when you... So this is the same thing. Dun, 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 pause, dun, dun, dun. Use, rests, and pauses. Silence is still rhythm. Oh, whoa, whoa. Woo! Case in point, right? Push and pull, make it breathe. And we're back. Hats come in, give us a bit more drive. Yeah. Music like this is all about breaking the beat, pulling it out, pulling it in. The transition points are extremely, extremely important in music like this. You don't want to get into sort of just a loop. We saw in the second verse there, we took out a lot of the instruments and then we filtered out the guitar as well. Then we just slowly sort of bring things back in with the hats as a transition back into this chorus here. We sucked everything out, gave it a nice transition. I mean, I love the little, especially out of the first chorus as well, where everything stops and it's like the little, what's that, like Imagine Dragons when they do that in, what is it, Radioactive? But things like that. Just little transition things that can sort of keep things moving, because otherwise this song will sound very loopy. Because it'll change the way you write. Just a little extra ear candies there, another guitar there. God. Cool. That was very Ed melody at the end. That was cool. So a short one, but towards the end there, we just had just like a completely new melodic idea. Rest. Still the same principle of like rest, same, but different melody, different rhythm. Rest. So it still gives us a nice groove, but love the stacking in that vocal there, just to thicken it up. And he's got, he's hitting some belts. And then that's new as well. It's got a nice bounce. Yeah, wicked. That was a good sort of throwback to sort of rappy Ed Sheeran and the octave work and things like that. So that's great. Next up is Stop the Rain. Okey-dokey, Stop the Rain. This is another one just written by Ed Sheeran, produced by Ed Sheeran, Fred, and Joe Rubel. Cool. Let's give it a go.
Another human cloud to bring you down when you blew the light in gasoline.
This doesn't really sound very Ed. It's different. Cool, great rhythm in the vocal. And the production isn't distracting from that, it's supporting that. Woo. Whoa. Okay, I like it. Woo. You gotta love when Ed gets the rasp gun, right? Bass, man. This is cool. This is just catchy. I don't have much to say here. It's all rhythm and singability. Knowing when to make it simple and when to sort of give it a lot. When to keep it simple and sort of keep it singable, followable, like no brain, right? It's just like switch brain off, like the end there, right? That's just something that you can just latch onto without much effort. And knowing when to contrast that with something a little bit more complex, a little more busy. Easy to listen to. Kick, clap, kick, clap. Keep it moving forward. It's actually interesting. I like that sort of cadence at the end. The kick at the end of that. Boom, 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 boom. That's cool, and it plays with the vocal a bit, right? So just got to use that stuff when it counts. Whoa, it really breaks it up, though, right? Textures in here. You got a cowbell there. You got cool. I'm gonna listen to that again. Let's go. There's a lot to talk about here in the vocal. I love that the little gliss in his voice. Yeah, didn't catch any of those lyrics the first time around, but you got some good imagery going on there. A lot of emotive words. When you use words like poison, plastic, crown, the tone of the word really helps here. So when you're crown, it's got some emotiveness to it. These words that have these harsh sonic qualities or mysterious sonic qualities, whatever you're intending to get your listener to feel. So I feel like it does a good job of setting that tone by using these words in the verse. That's important. Same. I'm in love with the shape of you. Right. Those little things in between. Pop them in. 2-line pre-chorus, by the way. That is a good way to sort of save time and just get to the chorus. It'll start dragging a little bit. Sometimes, don't be afraid to, even just one line as a pre-chorus, right? Just something to, it's really more of a separation between your verse and your chorus than a section on its own. Sometimes you want that, especially if you want to not really have your song too long or drag it on. So that's all it needs for a pre-chorus, and it sets it up on the high note there to let it hang, and then we have a lovely entry. Cannot stop the rain. A pickup again straight into your chorus, rain on the downbeat, and then you cannot stop as our pickup into the chorus with a nice little bounce, which works against the sort of bounciness of the groove here. Anyway, okay, I keep pausing this because it's just so good. How much do the choice of words here impact the syllables, which impacts the rhythm? It takes a real skill to really come up with the right words and syllables. Also, the lyrical palette here is great, right? Rain, umbrella, gray clouds. Yeah, let's just listen to that 2 lines. You cannot stop the rain, no way. Holding an umbrella when the gray clouds. It's got all the right syllables in the right place, right? It's good. It's actually interesting to try and break that up sometimes, but most of the time you're gonna, obviously sit the syllables where they are appropriate because of the word. So it's holding an umbrella, not like holding an umbrella. Like you don't extend the unimportant syllables and you don't highlight the non-important syllables. You want to put it where it flows, and so holding, you're working with the words that you're choosing. Definitely exceptions where people have taken words and used them a bit more creatively and gone against the natural pronunciation of those lyrics. But really good use of placing the syllables in the right spot. Find something real. Like it's just good placement of the words that you want to stand out. And then I love the next line, which is, but it's not the game they play. The amount of consonants and pausing just naturally in the word, but but it's not the game. Like it's very staccato by itself, just saying that, but it's not the game. Like almost impossible to say that without rhythm. And so he's used that to his advantage here, and it's actually sung it. It's not the game. Like it just works with that, which is the same as you cannot stop the rain. Like it works because that rhythm is just so natural in that lyric. And then we had all that activity, right? We had all this, all this syncopation, all this syllables, and then you just got to come back a bit. And this is, if you don't want to go straight back into a verse here, you really want to whew, breathe for a second. Yeah. Section here just to bring it back down and just something simple and singable.
Can't stop the rain, Can't stop the rain,
Good. Love the decision. So just really holding on that for the rest of the song, which is a good idea. There's a lot going on, so you don't want to just flood the listener there with too much information. So really, really cool. Okie dokie. Track number 11, Love in Slow Motion. Credits on this one is written by Johnny McDade, Natalie Hemby, who I have not heard of, Ed Sheeran, produced by Ed Sheeran, Fred, and Johnny McDade. So, Natalie, let's see what kind of flair you've put on this. I'm expecting Love in Slow Motion again. Title is already brewing some ideas in my head. Hopefully we get a sort of, typical Ed Sheeran wedding song sort of stuff. But let's see how this one is. Oh, okay. Bit brighter than I expected. I get it. Very air. Ooh.
since we've been alone. To turn off the world and the telephone. If I stop to take a look around, it's in front of my eyes. Baby, let's slow rewind.
Yeah, cool.
Darling, that dress,
This
remind
is what he's good at. Good
It's been a while
punchline.
since it was you and me. Yeah, we commit to so many things, but not to ourselves.
Oh, good line.
Apologize. Some's always something.
This has got a bit of everything, right? We got melody, we got a nice steady groove. Yeah, I need to go give me capo for this one. Hang on a sec. When you're listening to a classic Ed Sheeran 6/8 love song, you gotta get a gun. So we got 1, 2, 4. Cool. I was just enjoying that, but main thing to that was we're in 6/8, which is very typical for these kind of lovey-dovey songs, right? Very highly recommend. There's plenty of well-known love songs that will use the 6/8 time signature. There's a lot that's working really well here. Rhythm, vocals, melody, energy. It's big energy for a sort of this kind of song with this time signature and this kind of subject. So it's a lot bigger than I'm used to, and not what I'm used to coming from Ed especially. So, typically you get things like Perfect, which was his last sort of like it's very low key and chill. But this is big. This is like he's up the top of his range. That's really interesting. So let's play it from the top once again. I love the intro. Nice light. I don't know. Is that a mandolin? It's beautiful. Good tones out of these strings. So I'm just mesmerized by the instrumentation here. I haven't even really talked about his vocals. So quite a high pitch for him. And pull up the lyrics. Small little repetition. Been a while, been alone. They kind of go together. And then lovely rhyme there with telephone. So a little bit of a loose rhyme there. Telephone, beautiful. You wouldn't think they sort of rhyme, but they go together. You can twist things a little bit. Been a while, apologize. Okay, start thinking about your rhymes. It's not a perfect rhyme, but apologize, been a while. They rhythmically fit. You might write the line because it's been a while, and then you're like, oh, what rhymes with while? Because you want that I vowel at the end. It's not just about while, it's been a while. So those 3 syllables are important. And so apologize, right? The last 3 syllables of apologize is a bit more of a supportive syllable there, but it's not just about rhyming the end. That's a really effective way to make your rhymes and lyrics not quite sound forced. Well done so far. The whole line, it's like it's rhythmically succinct. Just if you find something good like that, latch onto it and explore it and just do it again. And if you can find a lyric that fits it, even better. right? Slow is on the down. So, baby, let's slow. You hold it up and fall, okay? He's done that in so many songs this album so far. And it happens in so many songs, but it's flowing. This is the things that he's using to help the song flow along. And this is just like classic. He's used these kind of rhythms in like many other of these love song ballads as well. Like it's very sway-y. But yeah, it's really good to use in this time signature. Same thing. We exit me first time. Right. The pitch kind of takes care of the cadence. And then pick up. But it's full. So like if you want to go there, put your pick up there as well. And just use a real like powerful bump, 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 bump. See, the difference between this song and Stop the Rain, right? Where the pickup to that was cannot stop the rain, like it was bouncy, da da but that wouldn't really work here because we're focusing on this sway, gentle dun 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 dun. So it's baby, let's slow. You want the, it'd be a bit weird if it was like baby, let's slow down. It would still work, but we're not looking for that in this song. We're looking for just romance. We don't need the danciness. I mean, I don't have really much to say about the choice of melody and rhythm here. It's just strong 6/8. Follow the fall of the chords. He's just done such a great job and beautiful lyrics. I want to love tonight, one by one and by the candlelight. You get nice imagery. I love the entry to that verse. Staying big. And we kind of loosen up our melody and rhythm here. We just tell the story. Beautiful difference here because before it was, it was the same. But before the second verse, so we have this, it's been a while, it's just you and me. And he kind of loosens up on the melody and the rhythm of things. Kind of lessens the musicality of it and just really, it's like more of just like, hey, I'm just like literally like talking to you. But it's really effective to then come back to the really strong rhythmic idea here, which is sometimes you said and you tell me it's nothing. You can get away with loosening up the verse because you have that such strong rhythm coming in the pre. So really well structured.
I need to change my perspective and prioritize.
We loosen it up a bit again, right? Change my perspective. It's a bit loose. It's beautiful. Yeah, the pickups just do the work. The whole chorus is just, no wanna love. Like if you do that, the rest will just come together and it will just feel so much more dramatic, powerful, emotive. And those little pitch changes, living fast forward, instead of just living fast forward. If I leave the same note, it still works. But if I just do that one note, living fast forward, then it can just create a little bit more tension and drama in your melodies. Ooh, there he is. That's classic Ed Sheeran. And we pull back. Yeah. And then it's just a matter of production. I think we go from I think we changed the last one from a 1-2-4 to a 6-5-4 perhaps. The end, but yeah, cool. Beautifully produced. I love the textures, the tones. That's just the stuff that he does the best. Am I right? Next one up is Visiting Hours, one that I've heard before, but I'm looking forward to listening to it again. Track 12, Visiting Hours. A lot of writers here we have. Written by Amy Wadge, Anthony Clemens, Michael Pollack, Ed Sheeran, Johnny McDade, Kim Lang-Smith, and Scott Carter. Just produced by Ed Sheeran and Johnny McDade. So Amy Wadge, I know that name from Ed's earlier work on Plus and before even, I think. A couple of his older EPs. So I've heard this song already, but no, I didn't actually know Amy was helping that one. So yeah, let's dive into Visiting Hours, track number 12. Break it down.
I wish that heaven had visiting hours. Just stay a while and we'll put all the world to rights. The little ones will grow and I'll still drink your favorite wine. And soon they're going to close, but since you've been
It's a beautiful song.
away.
I wish you could have sort of seen me listen to this the first time, because I was shocked, man. This is really touching. I just want to really mention just the lyrics. It's these kind of phrases that are gold. So if I just bring the lyrics, and you can build a whole song off that. First line, I wish that heaven had visiting hours. Like, that is the song right there. You could the rest, if you got that, the rest of the song comes out, because that just sums up the idea perfectly in such an original way. It says so much in that one phrase. You just get that one golden phrase that you feel like you haven't really heard before, but explains a concept so well. In this case, the concept of, being able just wanting to be able to talk to someone that you've lost. It's just such a great concept, and it just lays the foundation so well for the whole song. I'm really impressed. Let's go over that again and listen to the melody as well. So 1 to 3, but not 3, 1 to 6. It just gives it that moodier touch, and the falling bass as well. Just in the space of that line, G G A B D, it creates a rise that we can then fall. Na, 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 na. So we're already going like this.
Show up and bring the news.
Cadences. Da, na, na. You could very just go, heaven, visiting hours, and I could just show up. Na, 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 na. Right, I'll just like finish it off just like how, very similar to the first line, but you want to write in cadences and be flowy with it. So that kind of thing, it's just science. Like, it's not something that's like, oh, how do you do that? It's like literally just do a different rhythm, do a different melody.
The things that you learned from me, I got them all from you. Can I just stay a while?
And now we lift in terms of pitch, so we go from our very comfortable da-da. We've already had a fair range in pitch here. We go stay a while. We really push it. Provides a lot of emotion.
And we'll put all the world to rights. The little ones
And now,
will grow and I'll still drink your favorite wine.
and just in terms of chords here, if you want this to sound very uplifting, then you've got your 4, 5, and 1, right? All major chords. And then when you want to, let go of that, and you want to turn around, maybe the lyric turns around to a bit more of a darker idea, then boom, you bring in.
Still drink your favorite wine. Soon they're going to close, but I'll see you.
That's a borrowed chord there. Something like that. Just to change the mood, really, really effectively, like just that one chord.
So much
And wow, cool.
has changed
Even I.
since you've been. I wish that heaven
It's a great way to finish that chorus.
had visiting hours.
And there's enough space on the end of it to really let you hang on. Change since you've been away. And just let that sink in for a bit.
So I could just swing by and ask your advice. What would you
That was Foy Vance's voice, I think. So once you come up with these ideas, na, 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 let the production highlight that too. Massive choir joining in on that.
my situation? I haven't
It's all about the transitions.
even raised them. What would you do?
I mean, ugh.
'Cause you always do what's right.
That's amazing. Foy Vance is just a legend. It's such a characteristic voice. Now, the placement of the syllables according to what the natural sound of the phrases are. So I'll just play that again.
Situation, I haven't a clue.
What would you do in my situation? Right, the syllables are in the right place. Situation. That's how you sort of say that sound. That is the powerful stuff, and that's the repetition that you got to practice to find. It all works really well.
I'd even raise them. What would you do? 'Cause you always do what's right.
That's great.
We just talk a while until my
That's Amy Watch, right?
disappear.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that I'm scared of turning out a face since you've been away.
Now we bit of a break. Yeah, I don't think you really need this section. Like, you can write a great song without having that extended break, but it just allows the mood of the song to really cut through. And I mean, the trumpet is beautiful. It gives it that angelic, the trumpets of the angels sort of atmosphere and imagery, which I think adds a lot to the song. So I think it's a really great choice. Just let it build.
I wish that heaven
Really strong bass too.
had visiting hours.
Calling back to the first verse and the
And I would
punchline.
ask them if I could take you home, but I know what they'd say, that it's for the best.
How much does that leave you hanging? Like, pulling everything out and then just giving you that big take you home and then pulling it back out again.
So much has changed since you've been away.
Great vocal. So really love that structure. I mean, it's this beautiful structure, very folky. Can I just stay a while? We put all the world to rights. Right. And then the second time, can we just talk a while until my worries disappear? And then third time, and I will close the door, but I will open up my heart. So you just get more story each time, and it's really fun as a songwriter, just because you can actually you can just put more content into your song. But beautiful song, beautiful production. I love the choice of melody. That just as well shows the value of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 writers. Super touching, super original concept, and really well executed by the man himself. Next up, we have Sandman. Second to last, we have Sandman. This is written by Ed Sheeran and Johnny McDade. Sandman, yeah, ooh, that's mysterious. Where are we going to take it? Bouncy? Sounds like a kids' TV show or something.
Every day that love just multiplies.
This is fun. We've got this light, bouncy, childish vibe, which I get where the Sandman sort of comes in, right? This is the story of the Sandman when you're sleeping and puts the little things in your eyes. So that's like I guess this is coming from a cute sort of children's angle. You've got the boom, cha, 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 boom, cha, cha, cha. So you've got this kind of light feel. That's giving us the lightness here. If you take those offbeats out, your song becomes a little more drivey, a little more heavy. But the bounce comes from that. And then you've got is it pizzicato violin or something? There's some sort of pluck string. And the xylophones or whatever to emphasize that as well.
Every day that love just multiplies.
We have, again, rhythmic cohesion. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. It's a great way to keep things going. Rhythm and melody is part of your words. It's tied to it. You can't get away from it. So if you want to create repetition and you want to create rhyme, it's not just about the words, it's about the rhythm and the melody.
And your lullaby. Mama made the mobile in the sky.
Notice the subtle change in pitches, right? Na na na. Second time, na na na. Going up, going down, going up, going down.
Loving you is easy.
Different pitch. Na na na. We've been to that note already, but it's now sort of centered around that pitch.
Life will not always be. Fall into the world of hero.
Whatever you feel can never be wrong. Which also gives us a little bit more of a subdivision thing. Da, 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 da. So I'm wondering if we actually keep up that subdivision in the next section and we start to hear a bit more of the da, 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 da. Were they triplets? Da, 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 da. See what happens.
Come along for the ride, and in a shake of the lamb's tail we'll go. Be
A
still
little bit there. Shake the lamp. So slightly.
now.
But it's mostly built around the long falsetto.
Your eyes and dream.
It's just light and cute.
Hanging out with the Sandman. You look so sweet.
Interesting. Cool, little instrumental. And this is not complicated stuff, guys, right? It's a C major. And it's just da, 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 da. Like, it's not a crazy melody. It's I love that music has become what it has, and the technologies and the production accessibility and instruments and everything. It's so much about sound choice and tone. It's easier than ever today to stand out because you don't have to worry about thinking of a new chord progression or thinking of a cool scale or something really out there musically. Because if you've got just some sounds that are creative and that work and that support the narrative and the emotions that you're trying to deliver in your song, it can work really well. It's cohesive. This is like delivering art in a package of your intent and having everything be very purposeful. Woo! Love the playful playing there.
Chocolate covered room and made of ice cream.
Language that supports that as well. So ice cream, strawberries. It's all these like really sweet, innocent words.
Over the flower fields.
Flower fields. Yeah.
We'll count the fish in the sky.
Just like the word honeybee and strawberry. It's like it just gives you the right thing for this song. And it's just supported by everything else. I love it.
Whatever you feel can never be.
I can see how definitely people might not like this song, but as a piece of art, it does exactly what it should do.
Come along for the
Nice
hanging
subtle
out with the Sandman.
extra harmony.
You look so
It's like a straight out of a children's storybook, right?
rain outside. You'll be warm and dry.
He is pulling a few motifs and repeating them a lot along the way with different lyrics.
Out with the Sandman.
It's so good.
Hanging out with the Sandman. You look so sweet, my child Sandman.
Simple, fun,
Hanging out with
light.
the Sandman. Hanging out with the Sandman.
Oh, little music box at the end. Yeah, that's cool, man. I mean, I wouldn't have really missed it if it was off the album, but I like the fact that he is still not afraid to put out something that isn't really mainstream at all, or is just there for pure art and creativity. And obviously, I'm sure maybe that song is meant for someone, or a child, or his child, or a future child, or whatever. It's still a very good demonstration of good songwriting and good art being childlike and innocent and fun and playful. And it's not even down to the instruments; it's down to the way the instruments are played. Listen to the pizzicato. Listen to you can almost see how playfully whoever was playing that xylophone was playing the xylophone. So your choice of instrumentation and lyric and all that matters, but it's also how you play the instruments. Awesome. I really enjoyed that. All right. And to finish, so last track on the album, number 14, Be Right Now. This is written by Ed Sheeran, Fred Gibson, and Johnny McDade. produced by Ed, Fred, and Johnny. What do we got? Dancy. Oh, cool chords, cool tone. We went back in B. This is great. Choice of notes in the melody. Are we in E? Okay, so we are in B. These chords are great. But it's that note, so we start on the one on the, but his lyric is shadow. He's creating a suspension with the vocal, which I love to see. Just picking these sort of non-chord tones for your vocal, really great way to sort of add some color and texture in, and then chucking in the 3 there, which is then preceded by a 4, which is pretty standard. Just giving that semitone lift. I like this production is. It's Ed, but it's not. It's new. I like this. Is exactly I feel like where I expected this album to be, was this kind of place. It's hypnotizing, man. Snare drum there. It's really good. It's really it's to my taste to hear Ed's voice over this kind of production, and this it's got like sort of the 80s synth rock to it a little bit, and it's just enjoyable. It is similar to the Overpass Graffiti, right? I just want to let it soak in for a bit. So that again is using the 2 to 3, and he's hanging around these suspension areas, which gives it this like surreal feeling.
I don't wanna miss one thing. We can turn the whole world down and listen to his we're.
Yeah, let me just soak this up.
The hurry and the noise shut out.
I really like this one.
Stay here and be right now.
And a great lyric, great subject, great title. Be Right Now. Yeah, that's probably my second favorite after, what was it, Leave You Alive? I really like that. We haven't really spoken about the vocal. So, okay, instrumental-wise, production-wise, it's got that 80s callback a little bit. It's got the synth bass happening. We've got a little bit of an interesting chord there with the 1-3 to the 4. That's great. I love so we have this boom, 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 this driving synth bass, which is what you sort of expect with this kind of production. The hi-hats are covering our 16ths straight away. Fairly active sort of piano bum bum. Like it's not just one chord. It's not just like dun, it's bum jam. So there's a little bit of movement going on, and I like that that his vocals are a little bit more relaxed. They're a little bit more sort of over the top, long phrasing, which we can then use to our advantage later and maybe create some energy in the chords. Again, cadence into your next section, something completely different, and I like that. It's just okay. So now our bass, we can really start to feel the. I got it wrong. It's actually 16th notes. I thought it was just dun 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 dun, but we got digga 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 in the bass, which is just creating such an amount of drive, especially with the hats. So take everything out but the drums and the bass here. That's carrying the song, and his vocals are respecting that and keeping a fairly legato. Not getting in the way. There's a little bit more of a da 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 da. So it's quite straight. It's quite mostly on the eighth notes. Da 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 da, and that's where the feeling's gonna be. But that bass. And it's all driven by the kick as well. You know what it is as well? It's those low background vocals are doing a lot. It sounds like at least two other parts there, a low octave and something in between. You can't not like that. I mean, come on. It's not giving it too much. And then the muted guitar. Perfect combination. It's a repetition of rhythms. That's just super strong. Straight rhythms have strength. We can turn the whole world down. That. So we start on the 4. 6. Now, again, paying attention to the lifts and the falls. So we start on a nice neutral floaty 4, and then it goes up, from 4 to 6, but it feels more like a fall to me. And then we fall again. And it's like, so when you do this chord progression, the 4, 6, 5, 4, 6, 5, it very much sounds like a constant fall. And it can be really useful to just give a feeling of like cascading down. Fall. We can turn the whole world down and listen to the in-between. Fall. It's just like feels constantly falling. There's nothing but the space. Playing with lifting and falling is a very important aspect. Hurry in the noise. Stay here and be right now. Beautiful. And you can do it with any chord any time, like just by inverting and giving different parts to different instruments. Yeah, cool. That's the end of the album. And there we have it, guys. That was Ed Sheeran's Equals. Wow, I thoroughly enjoyed that. Thought there was some really, really cool original things in there. But yeah, songwriting-wise, that was just the master at work. Excellent melodies. He just had the melodies in the right place to really just give you the emotion that he was going for. And that is the power of melody. Cool. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I hope that you took away some important and valuable information from this first video of many to come. Stick around by hitting the subscribe button for more. If you want to learn more about songwriting in the future, there's definitely some really tasty albums that I'm planning to dive into very soon. So until then, we'll see you next time.